friends, it's Lisa here from Arcane and Stellar. I want to welcome you to my channel, and I hope that this 3-week prediction video is very interesting for you and insightful. So yeah, we're looking at your 3 weeks ahead. This is timeless, so whenever you come across this reading, it can be meant for you to help give you insight on the next 3 weeks of your life. Now, this was a requested, well, kind of a requested video. I had an October 2021 prediction request, and I love doing monthly readings, and I do them regularly for a few clients. You know, I have those on my Etsy shop, and I love doing those, but I do find that when I post them on my YouTube channel, it doesn't seem like people want that kind of content from me generally, so I usually don't post them. But when it was requested, I had to do it, and I thought maybe I'd reformat it to be more timeless as well, so that people can kind of enjoy it at different times, you know, of, you know, their life, or whenever this is going to be, you know, viewed by you. So yeah, that's kind of the deal I made. I was like, well, I get to fulfill that request because the next 3 weeks covers the rest of October, but at the same time, you know, maybe other people can also watch this in the future and get something out of it too. So thank you for that request. And here are the groups. We have 4 groups: 1, 2, 3, and 4. Bananas, strawberries, lettuce, apples. Okay, so those are the 4 groups to choose from. The timestamps will be down below, as always. And I wanted to point out, so I do have some bracelets on Etsy. You might see these on my wrist. These are all bracelets that were made by you know, me or my husband, and they are on Etsy right now. They're all unique, so there's only 1 of each. And I think there's 6 left as I'm filming this. I don't know how many there will be when this actually goes out, so, you know, check and see. I post them from time to time. I did a big batch recently. I've just not had enough time to kind of post them consistently, but because it is a lot of work. But sometimes for me, I just have too many things, too many personal readings. Speaking of personal readings, those are on Etsy. Do not pay attention to any of these scammy WhatsApp requests in the comments, or like anyone pretending to be me or any other reader. In fact, be careful. Most readers do not take that kind of format of payment. They don't try to solicit you. I do not solicit people for readings. My Etsy shop is where I sell those, and PayPal and Venmo are for, like, those are only for donations. Okay, so that's only if you like the content of the video and you want to do something kind. You know what I'm saying? So don't PayPal or Venmo me for a reading. That won't work. And I just have to return it, but unless it was like a donation. So yeah, just be careful of that, because sometimes I don't even see those comments because I accidentally blocked one. Yeah, I've tried to separate, like I've tried to ban certain keywords, like WhatsApp as an example is unfortunately banned from my channel because of these people, which pisses me off that I had to do that. But you know what I mean, it just kind of saves me some time trying to surf through the comments and trying to find those scammy people. Anyway, they'll get their karma, right? Anyway, I'm wishing you all the very, very best. I hope that this reading gives you some insight into your next 3 weeks, and I hope that this reading finds you blessed, happy, comfortable, wherever you are in the world. So, see you there. Hello my friends, if you chose group number 1, this is going to be your reading. You might see that the cards are already out on the table. I got interrupted, and so I had to I shuffled this out. Actually, it wasn't in the original group, and then I was just like, I have to start this all over again. So you might find that the next 3 weeks for you kind of has a similar energy. You might feel like things are getting interrupted. You might feel like things aren't going right. You might feel like it's just not going right. That's what I feel like. Things just kind of don't seem to work out. And it really matches the energy here, because look at her. She is on the mountaintop looking from a distance. And the funny part is that the bananas card, duality, is about taking a step back and looking at things from a different perspective. So I think that you're really asked here to take a step back and reassess anything that seems to be going awry. Don't feel like you have to get things done over these next 3 weeks. Don't feel like you have to micromanage everything. There might be certain things that are just out of your control, things that are happening and you just can't control it. You know, it's just like, and it's better at that moment just to kind of take a step back. I feel like some of you might be dealing with murky situations as well. With duality, this can talk about the shadow and the light, and it also kind of indicates that when you have a question, it's a maybe. It's not really clear. It could be a yes, it could be a no, it's just a maybe. And so, again, you might be dealing with kind of that unstable energy over the next 3 weeks. It's not a bad thing. I think that you're meant to navigate from a distance. And that's so funny. And I'm so irritated that I got interrupted because that navigate card came out when I was shuffling. And it said to figure a way through, to plan or direct the course of something, and to journey carefully and with intention. So again, it seems to me like you're not meant to kind of make big moves over these next 3 weeks. You're meant to sort of figure things out step by step. No rash actions, okay? Now with that Jack-o'-lantern card, this is a card of protection. This can also be a card of indicating boundaries. Putting up boundaries where you need to. And this can also be about needing to reestablish boundaries. And again, she's kind of got boundaries up. She's not down in the forest. She's not down there with everyone else. She's kind of solo on the top. So again, there's that energy of kind of pulling yourself away from certain situations to get a better perspective. And again, you might need to establish certain boundaries over these next 3 weeks in your life. So let's get some Making Magic cards and some Whispering Woods cards, but let's start here with the Making Magic cards. So group number 1, the next 3 weeks ahead from the time that they watch this reading, what messages are there for group number 1? Oh, we have 2 of them. Oh my god, okay, that's creepy. So I put these ones away. Oh my god, this is so creepy. I knew it would come back out. It came back out. So when I was doing the first version of this, Mercury retrograde is in my 3rd house, by the way. I'm pissed. I'm having a hell of a time with my communications. Yeah, this card came out actually, and I decided not to keep it because I wanted to live shuffle like most of the reading, and so I was just like, well, if it comes back out, it comes back out, right? It did come back out. Safe and happy travel, protection from harm when journeying. Some of you might be really worried about an upcoming journey. You might need to know that you are protected. It feels like a warm hug's around you, and you got like spirit guides, I don't know, past loved ones kind of protecting you as you travel. So again, for those of you, especially maybe with like that Mercury retrograde energy, maybe you're worried about it. If you're watching it as this is filmed, don't worry, your travels will be safe and happy. You'll be okay, okay? And we also have Love Charm, attract a lover, soulmate, or life partner. Now, again, some of you, I feel like for a lot of you, okay, some of you might be doing that, but one thing I want you to do here over this next 3 weeks, I think, and you're being guided to do this, is to kind of pull yourself back and get some perspective of what you like and what you don't like. Some of you might be attracting that person. And if you are in a relationship, right, and it might be that you need to kind of not allow any misunderstandings to form. This might also be a time in which you are better left to kind of stand back and remove yourself if you're feeling stressed out about a relationship or something like that. And duality as well can talk about seeing both sides of a situation. So it might be a good idea to kind of see both sides of something, right, as well, and to get a better perspective. Okay, so group number 1, next 3 weeks, what's going on? We have teach, inspire others, and let nature be your greatest teacher. So some of you might be teachers. You might have a chance to teach something or inspire somebody as well, to teach something that you know. Interesting about this sort of message here in this card, these are intuitive cards. You can find them on eBay. I'll try to link it down below. But it's a Russian deck. It's not in English, but it doesn't have any guidance. It's just intuitive, so it's easy. It can be read by anyone. Look at how the trees are down there, and it reminds me of that saying, I can't see the forest from the trees. And sometimes when I feel like for some of you, there's a chance that you'll be kind of on a pillar for someone, or someone's going to be looking up towards you, and you'll have a moment to guide someone, to give them advice. And I think it's because you've been there before. Okay, I feel like you've been in that forest where somebody is stuck, and you can kind of call out to them and say, hey, I've been there. I've been through this kind of, situation in my life, and I know the answer, or I can help you in some way. I can guide you. So I feel like a lot of you are going to be called to guide somebody through something that you've been through yourself, and you've already kind of gotten a good perspective on it. Okay? We have hope here as well. An idea like a single acorn can start a wondrous forest. Oh, okay. And that's crazy about the forest, because we were just talking about the forest down there. Again, you might be having, some of you might be kind of dealing with an idea, and it seems expansive. It seems big. Sometimes when we're doing things like, novel writing as an example, there are so many aspects to it. There's so many different ways to write a novel as an example. You can do like chapter by chapter, you could do section by section, or you can do, there's so many different formats to kind of go about it. And it's like that with any project. Sometimes we get caught up in these ideas and we're like, okay, well, where do I start? And again, this could be your spirit guides coming through saying, hey, don't worry about it right now. Kind of take a step back and start to make a list, of what you need to get done. Take it step by step. But I feel like some of you are really having some wonderful ideas at this time that have some really strong potential for the future. And again, oh, I love that synchronicity there. That was beautiful. Okay, so that is what we're seeing right here. Now let's go ahead and get, this is what I wanted to do. So these are beautiful cards. These have light work cards, shadow work cards, focus area, success. So let's see what comes through for you for the next 3 weeks. We have the navigate card, but I'm going to take one more. So group number 1. Oh, interesting. So we have a boundary card. That's interesting because the jack-o'-lantern is kind of a boundary card as well. It says express, to communicate, to make your thoughts and feelings known, to allow truth to flow through. Boundary. So this is putting up your boundaries through words, through expressing yourself, saying what you want and what you don't want, as an example. So that might be something that you really need to face this week. And again, with duality, especially for those of you that are often afraid to express yourself because you worry about the other person's reaction, what do you sacrifice in terms of yourself and what you want when you do that for other people? Think about that. Okay? What are you sacrificing when it comes to yourself, to your happiness, when you agree or you don't express your real feelings about something, right? Okay, so what else can group number 1 expect over the next 3 weeks? New home, new attitude. Some of you might be making changes around the home or to your stability. I feel like here, some of you may be moving or thinking about moving, but again, this could be about tidying up around the home as we're going into changing the seasons. A lot of you might be kind of feeling that cardinal energy where it's like, let's get stuff done, and there's a lot of energy right at the beginning of the cardinal seasons, right? We're in Libra right now, and so you might feel like, and we're about to go into a more fixed season, right? Scorpio season, as I'm filming this. But yeah, I feel like that cardinal change the season energy, and I feel like a lot of you might implement this around your home, either moving homes, thinking about that, planning for that, as well as like maybe perhaps, like I said, tidying up, organizing around the home. We also have protection from a powerful friend with the dog. I do feel like for a lot of you, you are meant to be that protector for somebody, but again, you might find that you are also protected. We also have a man and secret admirer, so I feel like a good portion of you have a secret admirer around you, okay? With that man here, again too, if you are secretly admiring someone at this time, I feel like for those of you that know that, you're like, okay, yeah, I am. You might need to express those feelings over this period of time. It might be a good time to kind of make your feelings known. For others of you, I think there's just somebody kind of got an eye on you. Okay? Dog far away. Okay, so yeah, a distant friend is thinking of you. So your secret admirer might be actually a friend at a distance. Okay, somebody maybe that's not too close by. Some of you might also find that you are, oh wow, okay. Some of you might also find that you are having return a return of old friends, reconnecting with people from before. You might have an old friend come back into your life. This card, when I do 6-month readings and monthly readings, like personally for people, it often comes out when there's like an old friend that pops back up, or somebody's like, oh, hey, how have you been? That sort of thing. So yeah, I think some of you might, and that's the energy of Mercury retrograde, right? People returning, old conversations coming up again, that sort of thing. Nest. An emotionally secure, loving family is important to you. And again, that fell under that new home. So I do feel like there's a lot of emphasis around the home, making it comfortable and making it emotionally secure and secure for yourself, maybe for your family members, for those of you that do have family. So yeah, that is what I'm seeing there. So let's see here. I want to grab so let's see, group number 1. What's up over the next 3 weeks in terms of work? Maybe work, school, sort of the things that keep us busy on a practical level. What's going on? We have the 8 of Cups. The 8 of Swords. And the King of Cups. So in terms of these types of practical aspects of your life, we have this energy here. The 8s are coming out, right? So this can be about walking away from certain feelings of, I feel like here you're meant to distance yourself in some way and kind of protect your emotions in the workplace or surrounding school. Of course, this could mean that some of you are battling certain anxieties at this time in relation maybe to your finances, or maybe it's your work atmosphere, or maybe it's exams that you're worried about. Wherever you're feeling that worry, that stress, that anxiety, you're meant to kind of calm these oceans inside of yourself, these oceans of emotion, and to kind of distance yourself. There's a lot of distancing with these 8s here. The 8 of Cups as well tells me that I feel like you're on the right path. So don't worry about it. If you're questioning yourself, don't worry about it. And for those of you that are kind of switching your paths, if you want to know whether that's the right decision, this is that confirmation that yes, you're making an emotionally sound decision. Don't worry so much. So that's what I feel there. And what about love for those that chose group number 1? Love over the next 3 weeks. I saw that secret admirer. The Magician. Queen of Cups. Oops. And the 3 of Wands. Wow. So here I feel like a lot of you might be feeling certain feelings. And I feel like this is a time to express yourself carefully. The Magician is expressive and communicative in a very controlled way. And this is also about manifesting. And it might be about that you need to kind of bring communication into your connections, to express yourself, to create this pathway for yourself in love. And even if you're in a partnership, this could be about, expressing yourself and your emotions to your partner. And I think there could be, I think the energy surrounding your love life is quite good. It's quite hopeful. It's quite beneficial. Again, expression is important here, and manifesting the reality you want through your actions. Okay? So I feel like that's one of the main messages for you guys in terms of love. Okay? And anything here about spirituality for the next 3 weeks? 7 of Wands. 4 of Swords. Some of you might be having restless dreams, I feel. Maybe some of you have nightmares. Don't fall out of the routine. Make a spiritual routine and stick to it. I feel like some of you might be also letting go of certain practices or moving towards new ones at this time. Be careful of looking toward the wrong person for information. Be a little protective of what you're bringing in. If you feel like something's not resonating with you, put up a boundary there. Like, don't let yourself fall for anything that brings you discomfort in your mind. Like, as an example, if there's a spiritual practice that makes you feel uncomfortable, don't engage in that. Or if you hear some sort of messages from a spiritual person, it might not be something that you need to engage at this time. I do feel like you're breaking through boundaries though. You might find, like I said, your dreams are more active as well. Also, I want to say, if you do have nightmares during this time or bad dreams, they may not mean anything. It might just be something that is like happening, I feel like don't pay attention too much to those at this time. Especially if they're bad. Don't think something ominous is coming. That's what I'm feeling. Okay. So that is your reading group number 1. I really hope that this was insightful, helpful, interesting for you. I'm wishing you all the very, 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 very best. And let me know if you like this reading in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. But your next 3 weeks ahead, that's what you got. And I'm wishing you good health, happiness, and peace during these next 3 weeks after you watch this reading. Take care of yourself and see you all in the next reading. Bye-bye. Hello my friends, if you chose group number 2 here, this is going to be your 3 weeks ahead. So let's go ahead and pull out the cards here and see what is happening for you. So the first message I really want to share with you is pay attention to the midnight hour. It's not just because of this card. Look at what number is on strawberries. It's 24. So pay attention over the next 3 weeks to what happens at midnight. In particular, I feel like a lot of you actually will be getting a lot of spiritual communication at this time. I feel like there might be a lot of signs and synchronicities, a lot of spirit messages coming through. Some of you might be tapping into mediumship abilities as well, or getting sort of like mediumistic type of activity. Of course, that midnight card talks about the most magical hour of all. I don't know, there's just really something here. I feel like a lot of you might have as well synchronicities about the top of the hour. So instead of seeing like 222 or 1313, you might actually find yourself looking at the clock and noticing it's exactly, 12 o'clock, or it's exactly 1 o'clock, or it's exactly 2 o'clock, 200, you know what I'm saying? Like that sort of thing. I really feel like that synchronicity could be very prevalent during this time frame. I do feel a sense of innocence for you guys as well. I want to say, if you're feeling quite hopeless at this time, really understand that this energy shall pass, okay? Because the midnight hour can talk about things being the darkest at the darkest. And so for some of you, if you're going through some sort of dark energy and you're feeling like life is hopeless and things are hopeless or the situation is hopeless, please don't fall on that permanently. Or think it's a permanent situation, okay? Especially here, the girl here in this intuitive card is looking up, she's holding a balloon, but she's letting it go. And it might feel like some of you are letting go of certain dreams or about to let go. But I feel like here, this isn't a time to do that, okay? I feel like keep holding on and let the energy pass. So it might be that certain people here are going through specific transits, maybe an astrology in your chart where, and it's not Mercury retrograde as I'm filming this, I think it's more natally, more personal to you, or maybe you're feeling like it's just an energy of like nothing goes right, or something isn't going to work out, or I'm kind of feeling hopeless about a certain situation. But I feel like that's not something you don't need to let go of it, okay? The strawberries card, okay? So this is about agreement, and the message here is that working with others will bring a huge boost for you at the moment. And if you're thinking of making an offer in business or even a romantic proposal, it should be met with a favorable response. Group work, connection with others, and partnering with like-minded individuals and entities are all areas that Strawberry works with. Inability to share or wanting to win at all costs will be highly detrimental to you. So, of course, on the shadow side there, if you are like trying to win something at all costs and you're wanting to kind of do something on your own, or it's so interesting because I wonder if some of you might be meeting that theme of wanting to kind of do things on your own when actually you need connection and you need to rely on other people. And Again, there's that Libra symbolism there. So some of you could be Libras. Again, this could be like a Libra. It is Libra season as I'm filming this as well. So it might be, you know, emphasizing that partnership here is important. Working with other people. Harmony, balance, and connection is really important. Okay, so let's keep that in mind over the next 3 weeks. What other messages does group number 2 have about the next 3 weeks ahead from the time they watch this? Caution. Tread softly as to not disturb the woodland floor. So this is a cautionary time. Again, you might want to be careful in your relationships and partnerships as well. During this time, you might be more likely to upset the balance, as an example. We have change. Falling leaves do not signify the end, but the beginning of a fruitful season. Well, and again, this might be that certain changes are happening and you start to think, this isn't going to work. And you might be starting to lose hope, but you might be just going through a shift in energy. Sometimes when that happens, it's spirit. Hold on. Sorry, I was trying to like reach a card. It's spirit actually guiding us towards these changes, to kind of implement these changes. And sometimes that's the time we make the best changes, is when we have a lot of things not going our way, and then we sort of get these new ideas. And it doesn't mean that our old ideas go away. It means that we sort of bring in new energy, new things to kind of guide us, right? So yeah, I feel like there could be something that you're changing from, and again, looking at it as it's not the end, it's just the end of maybe a certain season or a certain way of being, but there are a lot of opportunities still ahead of you. We also have friends. No way, that's the one that fell on the floor. The most unlikely friendships can form, like variegated lichens on hard rock. They create a tighter bond. Relying on friends at this time, super important for you. Again, some of you might be bringing in new friendships, and some of them might be unlikely. You know what I'm saying? Look for even unlikely friendships. That's funny. My husband recently, his friend moved away, and he's actually made a friend. And you know, I'm 36, my husband's 36 as well, and his friend was actually 70 something, and he was just heartbroken that he moved away out of state. And he's like, I know people think I'm weird because I hang out with a 70-something-year-old guy, and I'm like, I don't think you're weird, but because I always loved older people. I loved when I was a kid to go to the elderly neighbors and visit them. But I was like, that's not weird at all. Like, I don't know why you would think that's weird. Who would say that's weird? And maybe some people do. I guess I'm innocent sometimes in that I'm like, what? People would think that's weird? But yeah, I don't think it's weird. But some of you might find unlikely friendships or unlikely alliances. Maybe there's a huge age gap or a total difference in lifestyles. Pay attention to that over the next 3 weeks, because you might find that you really connect with somebody who's quite different from you in some way. Okay? What's coming for group number 2 over the next 3 weeks? On target. Follow your ideal life path. Again, don't let go of dreams during this time period. If you're feeling like things are fruitless, if you're feeling like things aren't hopeful, you're being told that it's about to pass. And I really feel like it's transits. Transits can do that. You know, they're temporary. We have Saturn square Venus. It's temporary. It won't last forever. Okay? It won't last forever. And sometimes it's a testing time. That's just an example of a transit. Sorry, I'm not going to desk everywhere. It's just temporary. So watch for that. We have successful career, a happy working environment, pay raises, and promotions. So again, some of you might be moving towards a successful career at this time. You might have, by the way, for some of you, this might say that work is going to be quite positive for you over the next 3 weeks as well. And we have spirit, heavenly assistance from your angels and guides. Going back to that message, I feel like a lot of you are going to have a lot of spirit interactions over the next 3 weeks. Pay attention. A lot of messages. Some of you might be seeing things, hearing things, however it comes to you. Some of you might even unlock new abilities in this arena. But I feel like some of you might have medium abilities. We have tree here, affairs with your family. So families of importance here. News is on the way. What's happening over the next 3 weeks? Dissatisfaction with life. Yeah, again, I kind of get that feeling that some of you are not you're dissatisfied with certain aspect of your life. And it's going to be different for everyone, because I don't want to make you all be the same. because everyone has a bit of a different life. But yeah, that's crazy. New creative ideas, new ventures, and a fresh start. So do know that that fresh energy is coming. So don't let go of anything. Don't give up on something. If you're working on something and you think it sucks, don't. Or if something's not going your way, a wish will not be granted. Again, don't give up on it. So we have that take care, enemies are working against you. A wish will not be granted. Let's get some, I want something about this. I want to ask about these enemies for those of you that are watching. What do they need to know about these enemies are working against them? What kind of enemies are these? You might have an enemy in your family a little bit, or somebody who doesn't really favor your best interest here. Someone could be a little self-absorbed. Be careful of that kind of energy, okay? No, I think your family energy for most of you is quite good, quite stable. Be careful of a younger person, perhaps, there with the Page of Swords. I have to say, for some of you specifically, if you do have a younger person in your family, in particular that you know is a little bit of a troublesome person, or can cause trouble or gossip or something like that, definitely steer clear of that kind of energy over the next 3 weeks. And that's specific. Don't try to make it, if you have younger people in your family that you get along with well, and you know that they would never do anything, don't try to apply this to yourself, okay? It's specific warning for some people. Some people might have someone in their family that's a little self-serving, or maybe someone in their life in general. It doesn't even have to be family, by the way. But yeah, so that's what I would say. For some of you, know that there might be someone who's not really for you at this time. They might be for themselves and what makes them good, right? Okay, so what is coming up in career, school, stable, earthly life for group number 2 here for the next 3 weeks? What's coming? Well, sorry about that. I just flew cards everywhere, so maybe you're going to feel a little chaotic. Maybe you'll feel like things are sometimes falling apart, not going right. Again, like I said, if you're watching this when I post this, it's Mercury retrograde, so it's typical. Okay, we have the Ten of Cups. Everything shall be well. Everything shall be well. Try to remain calm and collected. Understand, holy smokes, understand that these emotions shall pass. Look at the ship going through her, and she's grounded. Changes are happening, and she's like, I'm good. She's like a stone. She's got like this stone dress, which shows that stability, like that strong core. Understand that all these things, that they shall pass. These energies shall pass in your life. And ships come and go, things come and go. If you're feeling that Ten of Pentacles, you know, in the reverse, it's like if you're feeling unstable, if you're feeling like your foundation's a mess, understand that there's light, there's things that are going to be good in the future. Rely on the things that do make you happy at this time too, okay? Especially when it comes to like maybe those type of energies in your life, the work, career, school, sort of these practical aspects of your life, home, and these types of things. I think it should be good. But maybe over the next 3 weeks you might feel a little unstable at certain times, but just allow yourself to let these things pass. I feel like there's such an emphasis here on that for you. What about love for group number 2? I didn't get a lot in terms of like love life. What's going on in love? The Chariot. So this could feel a little bit, maybe certain actions aren't moving forward. Could feel a little bit stalled at times. Things could feel mysterious or uncertain. Yeah. I would say that the energy's okay, though. I feel like a lot of you probably, I don't know. Let me see here. Well, for those of you in a relationship, you might find that there might be different decisions you and your person are making about the future. Maybe you guys both kind of have different points of views. I would like to say that the burden is lessening. If you've had any burdens in your relationship, I think that things should become a little bit easier. What else do I feel here? For those of you that are single, I would say probably I wouldn't expect anything crazy over the next 3 weeks in love. I would say that probably everything will stay kind of the same. Again, the energy might be releasing a little bit as well. You know what I mean? Maybe where you feel less burdened by this if you are single. But I wouldn't say that I see big movements. I think a lot of things are happening behind the scenes spiritually, like your guides are kind of aligning you with the right situations, that sort of thing, when it comes to love. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like a lot of behind the scene things, but not really anything that's up front in your face. For some of you, do pay attention to your intuition when it comes to making decisions in regards to relationships. Okay, spirituality for group number 2 over the next 3 weeks, and for spirituality. Okay. Wait, Emperor in reverse, the Sun in reverse, and the 2 of Wands. Again, this might be about exploring the options in terms of making yourself happier. That might be something that's really needed to be focused on this particular week, or this particular 3 weeks. Let's see here. You might be exploring different ideas, different aspects of spirituality. You might be sort of, I don't know, practicing new things is what I want to get. Is what I want to say, I guess. Let's see here. Prayer. What do you need to communicate to the universe? What are you inspired to put into words and expression right now? What are your hopes, dreams, and wishes? Whoa, okay. So again, I think one thing spiritually that you need to be doing is praying. You pray to whoever you want to pray. I'm not saying how to pray or what to pray, but prayer, it's like speaking words. It's communicating to whoever you believe in and saying, this is what I want. Don't be afraid to ask for it. Don't feel like you don't have that power or that confidence to ask. Don't feel like you don't deserve something. This is about spreading your energy towards the positive and asking for that, is what I feel. Prayer. That's crazy, it came out. And attract, to welcome and become available, to be ready to hold and broadcast an intention. Some of you really do need to, especially for those of you that are trying to increase your spiritual abilities, ask for it. Ask for signs, for clarity, for information. I think that you'll be heard, okay? Especially for those of you that are trying to increase your spiritual abilities. But again, there's a strong emphasis spiritually to focus on manifestation and on creating the life that you want, okay? So that is what I'm seeing for those of you that chose group number 2. That's your next 3 weeks ahead. And I hope that this reading was helpful. I hope it was insightful. I'm wishing you all lots of good energy and happiness over the next 3 weeks, and I do wish that this reading found you, happy, healthy, and comfortable. And I'll see you on the next reading. Take care. Hello, my friends. If you chose group number 3, this is going to be a reading. So what's happening for you over the next 3 weeks? What do we have here for you? So let's dive right in. Spirit guides. Let's see here. Interesting. So we have the scrying card. This particular card we'll talk about. And then we have lettuce with desire. Scrying, let's start with that energy. Now, this can be a card of tapping into your intuition. So I feel like a lot of you will be tapping into your intuition over the next 3 weeks. You're being asked to do that. Some of you actually might literally need to try scrying. So scrying is where, I don't know if you guys are aware of it. It could be scrying into a crystal ball, into, there are a lot of ways to do it. Water, as an example here. Cameron got this for my birthday. Let me show you. I have a crystal ball from my great-grandmother that she used in her practice. But I also have this one that Cameron got for my birthday, and it's like a black mirror. So black mirror scrying. Some of you might want to explore scrying and the possibilities that you can kind of achieve through that intuitively. It's a wonderful method of intuition. So yeah, some of you might be encouraged to scry. The other thing here I do feel is that you guys are quenching your desires. I feel like some of you also need to look, though, at whether your desires are actually fulfilling you. The things that you're engaging with, okay? Because, okay, lettuce here. It says fulfillment in many areas of your life can be found by working a little more on your current relationships, which is interesting because look at this card here. It shows this full vase of water, and it's starting to leak out, and there is growth, but there needs to be more. So some of you might want to work on your relationships. This could be opening up emotionally, you know, because of water. You know, seeing that water like opening up, sharing your emotions. I do feel, though, that there can be fulfillment found, and you might find that things are getting better, or that there's nurturing energy coming towards relationships, okay? Overcoming challenges is indicated, and new material gain and recovery are also shown here with this card. It says lettuce helps us to get better physically and emotionally. It asks that you watch the way you're caring for yourself and to be careful about what it is you are focused on. Are your desires really serving your truth? Some of you might be harboring a lot of emotions about a specific situation, and it's not really watering your grass. You know what I'm saying? And it starts to make you and dry you out, like starts to make you feel a little bit shriveled up or not able to kind of develop further. So make sure that your desires and the things that you're kind of focusing on are actually good for you and healthy in the long run, and that they're not just a temporary satisfaction or a temporary concern that doesn't really bring you anything. It's like, you know, if you're worrying about like certain relationships that you can't change, it's just like, you can't do anything about it. Why worry about it? You know what I'm saying? Work on the things that you can change, right? Pour your emotions into the things that deserve it, that can actually go somewhere, that can actually be fruitful. Relationship, work, whatever. Any area of your life, you need to make sure you're watering the right things, that you're sharing with the right people, with the right situations, okay? Please charge battery. Listen to that. Please charge battery. Charge your battery. Okay, reconnect. Secrets lurk in the captive shadows deep in the woods, and this could be about reconnecting to yourself, your desires, reconnecting to yourself spiritually. I think this is a good time of reflection for you guys. We also have time. Embracing the dewdrops of life before they disappear with the morning sun. Again, focusing on things that can develop, as an example, is one thing I think is really important. Because we only have such a small time in life, actually. It passes so quickly. My daughter's going to be 16 later this week. And I'm just like, it was just yesterday she was born. I swear to God, you know? And put your emphasis on the things that matter, you know, for the long term. Who's in your life permanently? What situations do you want to be permanent for you? Don't worry on the minor shit. Don't worry on the people that don't matter in the long run. Okay? That's just a strong message coming through. Okay? Group number. Next 3 weeks ahead. Star. The silver energy of the star brings good luck and serendipity. Nice. And then Felix Felicitas. Power symbol, to create lucky serendipitous events. Holy smoke, so you got that word serendipity twice. Like, wow. So strong emphasis on luck and happenstance and all that kind of stuff. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, so you might look for some really good things coming towards you. Lucky moments. So I think this is a good time when I tell you to kind of engage in activities that could bring you good results or positive results. Maybe it's gambling a little bit, as long as you're not addicted. Taking a gamble. You might find that you're more lucky during this next 3 weeks from the time you watch it. So we have karma. You will reap what you've sown. And fire, strong emotion, passionate love or hate. Some of you might find that you are facing karmic situations. Hopefully they're good karma, right? Because we can also receive back what we've put out there, you know what I'm saying? In good ways, right? So, and we have that boat here, money or property through an inheritance, winning or windfall. Some of you might inherit something over the next 3 weeks or be talking about inheritance. I feel like a lot of you could win money though. I'm telling you, if you really felt intuitively drawn to this group, like for real, you might win some money. But that means you have to play it, by the way. It doesn't work if you don't. So you might have to try to put yourself out there. Work achievement and success. So I think that with the ant here, we're just seeing that I think work will probably be fine. That you're working on certain achievements. Celebration, fun, and enjoyment. And you will be shown the way. The torch came out. I read these a lot because I do a lot of 6-month readings and I use my T cards constantly. So I'm like, I know them by heart pretty much. Been using them for quite a long time. So, yeah. Okay, so you might have stronger emotions. Be careful that they come out nicely. Especially with that energy here. If you let them get full too much, they can kind of overflood as well, right? When you're planting, you know, or nurturing a plant, as an example, you can't overflood it usually. You don't want to give too much water. So, again, it might be that if you let things kind of overflow, you could damage certain situations. Again, this might be about, yeah, pay attention to those partnerships. Don't allow strong emotions to kind of override your logical self, okay? Especially maybe in work, too. Because that ant card's there. But I feel like work achievement success means you're getting shit done. You're doing things. You're getting along. Things are going okay. And we have plenty of great times. You might have birthdays and things coming up for people in your life or yourself, or, you know, there's celebrations, there's fun times, parties, get-togethers, that sort of thing. I think generally that should be pretty good. And then we have that spiritual development, enlightenment, awareness and understanding, scrying. You guys are developing abilities here over the next 3 weeks. Or you're being encouraged to develop these things, okay? Let's see here. And again, I think you should get some good karma if you've done good. If you've done bad, well, watch out. Okay. So this might be a karmic time. You know what's funny is that karma, listen to this. The other day I said, I never throw up. I never vomit. And it's true, I rarely ever do. And then guess what happened 2 days later? I vomited. I was like, I never do. And then the universe is like, ha. Ha ha ha. You know what I mean? So it might be some of those moments. So be careful what you're saying and what you're speaking. Okay? Don't say you never had it happen, because then you'll get it. So say I never had amazing love in my life, and then you're gonna get it, okay? Joking. Okay, so group number 3. Fear. What are you afraid of? What do you perceive to be the worst case scenario? What are you desperately trying to avoid and fight against right now? Shadow work. So your shadow work for the next 3 weeks is about facing fears. Understanding why you're afraid. Procrastination, especially, I'm just saying this, I guess, intuitively, maybe for some of you, it might resonate. But procrastination is often a product of fear. Oftentimes we're procrastinating because we're afraid to face something in some way. We're afraid to put ourselves out there, or we're afraid to kind of face something. So we procrastinate, we put it off. And then we tend to get real agitated when we do that. And sometimes that procrastination really sits on us energetically, because it starts to build up these like subconscious emotions, and then we start to get irritable. So watch out for that. Let's see here. Oh, we have finances, money, and abundance. So I think money is a focus. I think it's pretty good, actually. I want to say, I do feel like for the majority of you, you're going to have pretty good things there, because it looks like money's coming in. So money, work, career, school. Looks good. Strength card. You might want to be a little bit careful with your finances. Show moderation, self-control. Don't overspend, especially with the heightened emotions. You might want to find that this came out reversed, actually. You might find that you might be a more emotional spender during this time. So you might spend on a whim. 10 of Wands, in reverse, I feel like burdens are being let go of. Certain aspects are improving in your life when it comes to that. Work and such like that. We have 7 of Swords as well in the reverse. Let's see, what's up with the 7 of Swords? Some of you might find money, like that you stashed somewhere. Actually, check your old purses, your old, wallets, around under the sofas, all the places where you find money. Check around. I think you guys might uncover some. What else do I want to say? 7 of Swords in the reverse and the 6 of Pentacles in reverse. If you've borrowed somebody money, you might not see it returned to you over the next 3 weeks, I would say. Also be careful of requests for people asking to borrow. Yeah, that's about what I would say. I think actually everything should go pretty well, especially I feel like if you are, I think generally things should be stable with Strength card in general. So those are just like little things to think about. So what about love life for group number 3 over the next 3 weeks? Six of Wands in the reverse. King of Pentacles in the reverse. Sorry if you hear my stomach growling. It always does it. I'm tired of it. Okay, so some of you might be emotionally distancing yourself from certain people that don't make you feel very confident or good. That's kind of specific for some of you. I really feel like this love message isn't for everyone, to be honest. I feel like most of you might not need to hear this message. But some of you might deal with somebody who's more concerned with themselves than with anybody else, and you should kind of distance yourself if you do find yourself in that situation. I think for the rest of you, probably your relationships are fine. Okay, so, but you'll know that message is for you if you hear it. Like if you know you have someone that's not going to give you commitment, that they're just kind of unstable, just pull away for now. Don't focus on it, focus on other things. For those of you that don't resonate with that, then I wouldn't worry too much about love life. It's probably uneventful, fine, everything's okay. Okay? So spiritual development over the next 3 weeks. 9 of Wands. The Emperor. And Ace of Wands. Spiritual abilities. Don't overthink spiritually. Don't ignore your gut feelings. Especially for those of you, if you do try scrying, let's say you're like, yeah, I do want to try scrying. I'm going to do it. My advice to you with scrying is to let it flow. Don't overthink the symbolisms that are coming out. Just let yourself channel. Don't think you need a book to tell you all the symbolisms. Don't think you need... There's something here about just grabbing that intuition and not looking towards what someone else said when it comes to this. Don't look towards others to kind of guide you. Look towards yourself, especially in spirituality. When you're feeling right about something, you are right. In this case, over these next 3 weeks. I'm not saying that you're always right. Nobody's ever always right. We all make mess ups, you know? But I think here, during this time frame, especially for those of you that are trying to learn how to channel things, especially if you go through a scrying method, don't overthink what comes out of your mouth. Oftentimes, the most ridiculous things I've ever come when I'm channeling, I don't do it very often, but the most ridiculous things I say are accurate. I've literally picked up the weirdest things when I do it. Like, you know, once I picked up Coke products for a girl. She was like, oh yeah, I collect Coke products. And I'm like, well, what the hell? Okay. You know what I mean? I kept seeing old Coke bottles and Coke this and Coke that, Coca-Cola. And it's like, well, you know, just take the messages. Whatever comes out, comes out. Don't overthink it or anything like that for those of you that are really practicing this type of thing. For the rest of you, I think everything should be kind of good. Again, look towards yourself this time and don't necessarily feel like you need the answers from someone above you. It's one thing I feel spiritually. So yeah, that is what I've got for you guys at Chose Group number 3. I do wish that you all have a beautiful 3 weeks ahead. I hope this reading was insightful. Remember, lots of luck here for money. Yeah. I think work should be good. And again, just make sure you are nurturing the right desires in your life. You're not, and also not storing things up. You know what I'm saying? Not over flooding your emotions as well. But yeah, that's kind of the messages. I think there will be plenty of work, success, and fun moments. I think there's great spiritual development happening. I think that you'll see some karma play out, mostly for the good, I think, here. And again, strong emotions, but just like I said, make sure you're directing them and watering the right things with those emotions. And with the boat here, money, property through inheritance, winning, or windfall. So I think that you guys will get some extra money. Okay, so that is what I'm seeing for those of you over the next 3 weeks. Take care, and I'll see you on the next reading. Bye-bye. Hey friends, if you chose group number 4, this is going to be your reading for the next 3 weeks. So whenever you watch this, this is your reading. Okay, so we have apples and barmbrack, and as well this intuitive card here. This is such an interesting synchronicity kind of reading. So many of you are going to be faced over this next 3 weeks with the idea of authentically exposing yourself to somebody. I feel like a lot of you, a good portion of you, are going to have perhaps a love interest in your life in which there needs to be sharing going on, okay? So listen to the message of the apple in particular, and then we'll get into this message right here that just matches so well. So with the apple, it says, the future is assured, and hope is all around for whatever is going on at the moment. Now is a brilliant time to work on your vision for the future, on goals and reevaluating past decisions. Apples also align with the energy of love, and especially on bringing romantic bonds closer together. Look at the individual elements of situations a little more closely, and be sure that you stand strong in your unique qualities. Keep ideas to yourself at the moment. So here, I don't think you need to keep your ideas to yourself actually here. And some of the messages in these cards are a little bit, it depends on what's around the cards. So don't pay attention to that last message so much here. Maybe be careful with who you expose yourself to, of course. But I think that there's someone here that's very good for you. Okay? Somebody, whether it's a friend, a lover, a partner, I feel like that there is something that needs to be exposed. Okay? Because look at her. She's naked and not afraid to kind of look at who she is and share that, in some way. So this might be about sharing your fears, your inconfidence with someone, maybe past hurts, past traumas. You might have a moment to really connect with somebody over the next 3 weeks in which you really get to know someone, or, share that part of yourself. There's something here about really standing in your true element and being authentic, not wearing a mask, but showing your vulnerability and who you really are. And so there's definitely that. I think a lot of you are going to have some kind of heartfelt conversation over the next 3 weeks with somebody. Everyone's going to have this. I feel like sometimes, messages are just for a few people, but I feel like you guys are going to be able to have a really good heart-to-heart with somebody. Again, for some of you, this might be a romantic partner, but not for all of you. Now that I'm murky on. Another thing, too, is you might be looking at past events with a forgiving nature. Sometimes we do things that we're not proud of because we're hurt, we're lost, we're afraid, we are not ourselves in some way. So this might be about letting go and forgiving certain aspects of yourself from the past and understand where you were coming from at that time. Maybe where another person was coming from too, right? So we also have barmbrack. Now barmbrack's a beautiful card. It says sweetness and synergy. So of course that makes me feel like, generally there's a lot of sweet moments to be found. It talks about prosperity and good luck, possibly as well. It says when you pull the barmbrack card, it indicates a curiosity to know what is ahead, but it's important to balance that with the now. After all, we have the tools to change our future should we choose. The sweet synergy of barmbrack, all the ingredients, including the objects, are more complete and powerful together than they are individually. Should encourage you to seek your own sweet spot. So again, this might be also about seeking what you really truly desire. But I think as well, this can talk about the synergy of relationships. For me, that's what I really feel. And I feel as well that you're being told that you can change some aspects of your future. So some of you might feel that you don't have some kind of control. Maybe you think things are happening for you or against you or something like that, and not for you as an example. But I feel like that's not the case. You have a lot of control over what happens at this time. We have retreat. Spoil yourself in the morning. Breathe in nature's sweet scents. So there might be times of retreating a little bit. Okay, you might feel like retreating sometimes and being on your own, but I do feel like human connection is quite important here. Okay? And maybe you need those quiet mornings. Some of you might be actually establishing a quiet morning routine. Maybe you guys are going to start waking up earlier or creating a routine in the morning. Instead of looking straight at your phone, you might make yourself a cup of tea or, you know, do a little meditation. That might be something to think about. Okay? We have the night. Find comfort in the night where the world switches off and the stars burn bright. What the hell? We have morning and night being important here. I wonder if some of you are going to be changing your sleeping schedule or your routines in the evenings and mornings. Some of you might be deciding to go to bed earlier or something like that, or changing something up a little bit there. That's very interesting though. Morning and night somehow very important here. I wonder if some of you are changing your shifts or something at work, or there's something going on. Huh. So group number 4, what's happening over the next 3 weeks? On target, follow your ideal life path. So I feel like you're on target in regards to that. We also have Felix Felicitas. So it says power symbol to create lucky serendipitous events. So I do feel like you are able, and that's funny because it talks about creation of the future. So again, you might be able to kind of create good events by acting on these ideas as well. I think that when it comes to your ideal life path, you're on target though, to do these things. Like, I think you're on the right track. And we have Philosopher's Stone, powerful manifestation of wishes and goals by harnessing universal energy. Ooh, good time for manifesting for you guys over the next 3 weeks. I feel like manifesting and acting are very in your favor for having good results, okay? We have the Moon, changes in your lives. The Star, guaranteed success. Next 3 weeks. A sincere wish will be granted. So good things. I think you guys have a really good pile here. To be honest, a really good reading. February. Maybe some of you are born in February. Maybe some of you will be watching this in the future in February. Money will be coming to you. Nice. So you will get some extra money probably, or do well there in finances over the next 3 weeks. So we have this changes coming in your life. Maybe these are emotional changes or changes in routine as well. I look to the Moon as kind of showing how things are changing, right? We have different phases and stuff. So you might be, and the Moon can represent, you know, symbolically the home as well. So you might be having changes around your home, your routine, the way you're doing things. And with the guaranteed success, I do feel like, again, that's kind of some marker for you that you're on the right path. And you're gonna get something this week, maybe financial rewards in terms of something you're doing, by the way, as well. We have slowly but surely getting ahead. So I want to say that, you know, you might be finding that, you know, the results are simple and sweet, and they kind of, I feel like you're moving right along. I get that song, what is it, Kermit the Frog or Fozzie Bear, moving right along, and da 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 da. That one, you know, it's like an old song. Inside of good times or bad, something happy or sad. I can't remember all the words, but yeah, that song comes to my mind. So I feel like things are fine, like they're going along over the next 3 weeks. And as well, by the way, we have use your intuition to make beneficial changes. So again, you might have intuitive ideas, maybe to start a new vitamin supplement, or like to do something different, or you feel like, I need to do this, I need to do that. Sometimes it's very instinctual. We have karma, past life, and cycles. And triggers and problematic behavior. Okay, what I wanted to say about the use your intuition to make beneficial changes. So again, pay attention to your intuition. Sometimes it comes in really subtle ways. This is weird. I'm going to tell you one. So my mom recently bought chickens. She didn't have a place to keep them. And she's like, I need to buy chickens. And then now there are chicken shortages. See what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it just, like, but she's not going to butcher them, by the way. She doesn't kill chickens. And now they have a coop and everything now. But, like, she bought that, and then now there are suddenly chicken shortages. And it's like, how weird, you know? It's like acting on that intuition to make changes in your life. So I feel like, pay attention to those little nudges. I need this thing. You might need it, you know? You get a new mop, and then you might find that, you know, you spill something. Or, you know, you think you need this thing, this crock pot or something, and then you find out you have an event to cook for, and it'll be easier to do crock pot. You know what I'm saying? Like, these might be minor changes. It's not, I'm not telling you you're going to have, like, lights coming out of the sky saying, like, whoo, you know, do this and you're going to be a millionaire. It'll probably be very simple. Let's be practical. But, you know, do that intuitive, you know, act on these intuitive changes, because I think it'll be helpful to you. So we have karma, past life and cycles, triggers, and problematic behaviors. So we have a little bit of shadow work here. So it's not to say you're devoid of no shadow work. So you need to look in here. Okay, so it says, what is making you feel uncomfortable? What is causing the negative reactions within you or from you? And what needs to be resolved? Okay, so you might need to look at triggers in your life. What's triggering you to feel like shit? What triggers you to feel good about yourself? How can you you know, deal with the triggers that you do get? You know, how can you move past these things in your life? We also have problematic behavior. So what are the toxic behaviors from you or from others that are present in your life right now? What needs to be acknowledged with and dealt with? Again, you might have some kind of karmic cycles with a specific person, someone that triggers you, someone that has problematic behavior. I feel like this is probably going to affect everyone a little bit differently. So definitely look at these things. I feel like you might be breaking out of certain cycles of your life. You might also, you know, receive, or other people might be receiving karma for these types of behaviors as well. Yeah, that kind of thing. So I'm going to go ahead and do the final part of the reading. So work, career, home. What's going on for group number 4 over the next 3 weeks? King of Wands. Three of Cups, and the Hanged Man. Well, I think that things should be quite good. I would say here that stationary energy, if you think things have been kind of slow, I think they will pick up a little bit. If you felt bored or uninspired, or you felt like things were a little bit slower, I feel like those things should pick up around these areas. There is something about relationships here, maybe at work or school or something. Let me just see. Okay, so the Hierophant and the Hermit, if you're, so work and school, that kind of area, don't look towards other people too much for answers. Kind of go with what you're feeling. Sometimes you might need to pull yourself away from certain crowds or certain energies if they're not feeling good toward you. At this time, you're not feeling very comfortable with it as well. This might be a time that's good for studying, reflection, and so on and so forth, rather than engaging in connections or your social life as much. This might be also a time where you need to focus on getting things done as well. Especially if you find relationships distracting towards, you know, your growth, as an example. So, group number 4 in love. What's happening in the love life? The Empress in reverse. In the love life. I think someone's going to pay you a very nice compliment over the next 3 weeks. Okay? I feel like someone is going to pay you a compliment, say something nice. You're going to get like one of those things like, oh, that's a nice top, or that's a nice, I like your picture, or something along those lines. I feel like I need one of these. I didn't take one for the other groups, but I'm going to grab one now. I do feel like if you're feeling unattractive at this time, do know that you are desired. I get strong passion, inattentive words or expression. So maybe someone's not, I mean, maybe someone says something that seems like a little bit immature, but it's well-meaning. Like maybe they come at you like, almost like you're like, what? That was not skilled. That's not what you say. I get that vibe. We have growth and transformation here. What's happening in love? Waiting and watching and waiting. And finding balance. Okay, so here we have this. Okay, this is interesting with the Page of Swords. So someone, some of you might find that somebody's kind of waiting for things to iron out before they contact you again. So if you are in a no contact situation, you might find that this person's watching you, but they're not really doing anything yet. They might be waiting for things to change or develop differently. Let's see. You might find though that someone's contacting you. Maybe someone you haven't heard from in a bit as well. There could be things changing in relationship though, and I think that generally if your partnership has felt a little unsatisfying as an example, or you felt like things have been a little bit, you've been worried about it, I think things are going better, and things are improving here. But generally I would say if no problems in your relationships, I would say that everything's fine, essentially. And again, you'll probably get a nice compliment from your partner. I think that there could be good discussions over the next 3 weeks in love as well. There's that opportunity to kind of express yourself, and for your partner perhaps to express themselves, or, you know, the person on your mind as an example. So let's see, spirituality over the next 3 weeks. For spiritual life. Oh shoot, too many cards, huh? We have the King of Cups, the Emperor. Man, the Emperor keeps coming out in all the readings, but you guys got it up right here. I think you guys are spiritually adept, is what I get. I feel like some of you are learning new lessons when it comes to spirituality. I feel like you're very grounded at this time as well. Make those beneficial changes in your practical life. I think your spirituality is coming into your practical life right now. So it's practical application of your spiritual practice. This could be creating an altar space. This could be about creating a new routine for yourself, adding in a new meditation. I feel like this is a time where you implement stable changes in your life. And again, when it comes to the practical aspects of your life, when I talked about that, if you have like an idea to make a certain purchase at this time, and that way make those purchases or go towards those things. If you feel like you need to change your routine as an example, again, go for it. I feel like you're making really good intuitive changes, and you're very emotionally tapped in, King of Cups. And your ideas are grounded. You're very grounded at this time, in terms of you're not wishy-washy. You're not full of anxiety necessarily in regards to a lot of, again, there's a lot of changes here that are very intuitive, and I think you're tapping into some good stuff here in terms of making changes. So pay attention. You want to add a new product to your beauty regime. It's going to be beneficial to you. If you feel drawn to something, to start a new practice, like I said, do it. You're very I don't know, it's good energy for that over these next 3 weeks, okay? So I am wishing you all the very, very best. I hope that this reading was helpful. Let me know if you liked it below in the comments. I'd love to hear from you guys. And I'm just wishing you guys a beautiful next 3 weeks. Take care. Remember, connections are important here. Be vulnerable. Have those vulnerable conversations. Know that wishes will be granted. And things are just good. I think you have a lot of wonderful things over the next 3 weeks, okay? So take care of yourself, and I'll see you on the next reading. Bye-bye.